right, chat. Time has started. Do you want the music to keep going while we do this? Because I don't really care either way, chat. Why is that? Hold on. Why is that busted? Hold on. Hold on. Don't turn these off. That needs to do that. Yeah, I think that's fixed, chat. Wait. Hold on. It's been a while since we used the desktop one. Chat, we haven't used this one since, like, me and Cap'n did the Red Alert stream. So it's been a couple of months. We're not making the frog blink, okay? The frog is remaining how it is. It's a frog. It's okay. It's not going anywhere. Hello, chat. Good morning. There's already quite a few people here. I was hoping for nobody to show up to this. This is gonna be extremely painful for me. Very funny for all of you. There have been some people who have asked for everyone showed up. I know. There's been some people that have asked for more, like, VTuber-centered things, like tier lists and things like that, and I was like, I'm really not into things like that. Like, I think they're funny to watch. I don't think I'm very good at them. So I was like, what's something that I could do that that everyone could make fun of me for? Similar vein. And I was like, okay, we're gonna make this a subathon goal. So chat, I have been sitting on these pictures to be shown to you guys since before the subathon. I have had these waiting here since May. So I remember some of them. I don't remember a lot of them. But yes, I need emotional support. I need pure emotional support through this. For those of you that don't know, Q, at one point wanted to be an artist. Q, for many, many years, here's your free Q fact of the day, excuse me. I'm still finishing my breakfast, so, would not recommend the overnight oats from Aldi, if you're in the US. They just recently rolled those out. I hate pudding, so thank you, Matt, for the random fun fact. Yeah, fun fact, from the time that I was 7, wanted to be an artist. Now, chat, I also kept changing my mind every couple of months or so, and I'd be like, now I want to be a dentist, now I want to be a singer, now I want to be an actor, then I was like, and then I want to be an artist again. So I've never really, like, thrown 100% of myself into something, but I did art because I was good at it, I guess, and I got a lot of praise for it, and a lot of that was very much so undeserved. I did not deserve any of that. So, yeah, the flame completely disappeared. I found a couple of years ago, it was an Anastasia memory book. And I wrote in there at 6 years old that I wanted to be an artist. And then a couple years later, I crossed it out and I put dentist. And then a couple years later, and they were all in different pens and everything, I crossed it out and I was like, I want to be an actor. And I just kept doing this. I just kept crossing it out every time I'd find the book again. It was so dumb. I also taped my Tamagotchi to a chat. I don't know why. It was... so the book never closed. So even when I finally pulled the Tamagotchi out of the chat, it was just like this big ball in the middle of just nothing. Because it wouldn't actually shut anymore. Because I just decided, for some reason, at 6 years old, to take my Tamagotchi to this book. I don't know why, chat. So I've been drawing for a very long time. My mom still has some of my very, very old drawings, but I wouldn't really consider them, like, probably... I wouldn't consider them probably useful, I guess, in this soiree. Otherwise, I would have contacted my mom and been like, hey, can you send me some of those? She probably would have sent me a shaky picture of herself because she doesn't understand how the camera works and she keeps putting it on selfie mode, but it's interesting people I've met. That is sad. I have just done a lot of weird shit in my life. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that it would be fun to tape a Tamagotchi to a book, but here we are. So I was kind of inspired by that when I was cleaning out my room when I went back a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, I should go back through some of my old art. And I did. I had a huge file folio. It was pink. I wrote shitty Japanese that I translated from keichianimeforever.com, which unfortunately I don't think exists anymore. I used to roleplay on there quite a lot. Uh, and it was cringe. It was pretty bad. But I absolutely scanned every one of them in chat. I scanned in every one of them. I have art going back to 2004 from when I was about 13, 14 years old. So, do I not have permission to poll? You should. Does it not work? You should be able to. I think you might have to do /poll and then set it up that way, but you should be able to. You might have to go into mod view to do it. But yeah, chat, there you go. That's that's what we're doing today. So please be nice to me. I am my own harshest critic. I absolutely used to, for all intensive purposes, do art on stream. So trust me, I have heard it all. The difference is, please be nice. To do the mod thing, I think you have to hit the gear down at the bottom next to chat, and then I think there should be mod view or something like that. But I've heard all of it. I've heard people come in and make fun of my art. That's okay. I get it. I understand. Everyone's a critic. I'm my own worst critic. Just be nice. I understand. No more art streams because I don't actually own a tablet anymore. So what happened was I actually used to have a very, very old Wacom, so we'll go over this too, because about like 2010, 11-ish, you may see a switch to digital art. Literally just because I had had a friend who gifted me his for 20 bucks. And then, ironically enough, Breck over here, actually gifted me my other tablet. However, a couple of years ago, there was a switch with Windows 10, and then it doesn't work anymore, so now there's no pen pressure. So, and I've tried everything. I've tried going into the BIOS to set the drivers. I've tried doing everything possible. The tablet just does not want to work anymore. So I haven't had a tablet since, like, 2022 or something, so I don't do digital art anymore. So that's why there's no more art streams. So... I know, if I had an iPad, I would switch to Procreate. I really would. Unfortunately, those are very expensive. That's a one-day thing. I've been looking at the XP pens. Unfortunately, that is a, you know, that is a one-day purchase. I cannot afford the iPad. Trust me, I cannot under any circumstances. I also don't own any Apple products at all, so I would have to get everything. So I'd have to get the pencil, I'd have to get everything. I'd have to start from scratch. I've got nothing, so the opposite. So, chat. Oh god, now that more people are trickling in, we're gonna start the show. Florida's a chip in it. Oh god. Listen, that'll be the one time where it's like that chip is like the exact spot where I'm trying to draw and be like, "Arf, Patch, I can't believe you." So there's a lot of things I gotta do. I'm gonna get a tablet at some point. There's a couple of cheap ones on XP Pen. I've heard very good things about them actually working with Windows, which is exactly what I need. And, you know, I need a Stream Deck. I need art. I need everything, chat. One day. Today is not that day. Today we are just gonna make fun of Q, and that's fine. Do we want any background music, chat? No, the throne is at the bottom. I never made a command. No, I never drew Sonic Lewd fan art. But, I have a story about that, so maybe I'll tell that at some point, but I can only tell certain amounts of that, because, I may have posted about that on Reddit at one point. But, yeah, there you go, chat. So, oh, let's get this show on the road. Can I even get anything in here? Story, thanks, Luna. While we do that, let me set the stage. Chat, many years ago, I used to go to conventions. I still do sometimes, but not as frequently. I may have gone to one, and I had a guy that came up to me. I was sitting by myself, because we were still moving into our hotel and we had a booth, so everyone had to go and grab everything. They were like, well, it's not going to make any sense for us to go back and forth with everybody. So I was like, well, I'll sit at the table and I'll wait here with all the stuff. So I was sitting there by myself, whole mountain of stuff in front of me. Everyone's just carting stuff back and in. And this guy comes up to me and sits down next to me and goes, hey, are you such and such character? And I'm like, yes, I am. And he goes, great. Thanks everyone for contributing to Throne. I appreciate it. You guys are butts. He sits down next to me, chat, and this guy goes, are you this character? And I said, yes. And he goes, oh, that's great. And he puts his bag, he drops it on the table right in front of him. Nice little shoulder bag. And he goes, listen, I gotta tell you about this. And I was like, oh God, what the hell is going on? And he wasn't like you could tell he wasn't really like socially apt, I guess. But I'm not really either, so I didn't want to make any judgments from then and there. I didn't make any judgments until chat. He opens up his bag and he starts talking about how much he really likes Sonic and how Sonic is his favorite thing ever. And he goes, yeah, then there was one time where Sonic was evil, and then there was this comic where Sonic was, like, doing this thing with Knuckles, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? And he's just going on and on and on. And he's going on, and he keeps going, chat. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck here. I can't just leave everybody's stuff here. And I'm just panicking. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? I was like, somebody has to come over here. Somebody has to help me. Please, for the love of God. Now, the problem was that I was somewhat cosplay famous at the time. So I had to be very careful with what I was doing because people recognized me. I immediately thought that that's what it was. I thought that the guy knew me. I thought that he wanted an autograph. I thought that he had, like, prints or something like that. He didn't. He just... yeah, it is normal social expectation. I know, everyone should just know all of this Sonic knowledge. Everyone should know exactly, and, like, what did he say? It was like... issue 63 or something ridiculous was the one where Sonic went completely evil and he was pulling out like different covers and stuff, and he had people drawing covers and he had like autographs for different people, and I was like, where did all of this come from? Who is this guy? I really genuinely thought that he was just a fan. I really did. He was just some random guy. He didn't know who the fuck I was. He just... Okay, so he starts pulling all of this stuff out, and chat, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, it's just like a little weird, and then it got weirdo, and he goes, hey, yeah, he's like, I just want to show you, and he had lewd fan art of Sonic and my character that he had drawn on some shitty notebook paper. It still had the ridges on the side, so I don't know who the hell that he convinced to draw any of this, or why he felt it was appropriate to show me this in the middle of a crowded cafeteria where we were trying to set up our damn booth. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, what is this? What do I do? And I'm like so visibly uncomfortable. And he's just going on. And he's like, yeah, I had somebody do this. I had somebody do this. And he's pulling out more, chat. He's pulling out more. It wasn't just one. He had like 6 or 7 of them. And I'm just sitting there like, hey, this, I don't think is, hey, that's nice. I really don't think that's appropriate right now. And he's like, oh, no, but then I gotta show you this. And then here's Evil Sonic doing this character. And I was like, oh my God, stop, please. And one of the girls came up and she looks dead straight at him, sees that I'm uncomfortable, physically looks at him and goes, leave. And he's like, oh God, I'm so sorry. And he's like putting everything away. He throws it all back into his bag and he just books it. And chat, I want to say like 6 or 7 hours later, I heard from a couple of different people that he was like searching for me and pretending that he was a friend of mine. It was like this whole thing. See, that was the really nice thing about being like somewhat like cosplay famous, is like everyone knew me, so people would just randomly come up and they're like, hey, I know you. And they were like, hey, just want to let you know this guy's looking for you. He was wondering where your hotel was. And I was like, all right, cool, great. Glad we're staying off site. So there you go, chat. That's that's the time that I got cornered at a convention and showed Luke fan art of one of the characters I was being. He genuinely don't know who I was, as far as we know. I don't think he knew any of the panels I did. I don't think he knew any of the costumes I did. I think he just happened to see that I was that character that day. Because then I think we saw him the next day, and I was dressed as something different, and he didn't even regard me at all. I always, for the rest of the weekend, I had to have a gentleman with me the entire time. I would prefer not to say the character because it's actually pretty well known for like a couple of states. Like, I want to say like 4 or 5 states worth of like portraying this character. So, there you go. That's my story of the Lewd Sanic fan art guy. Would not recommend. If you go to conventions anywhere in the state of Ohio, be careful. Do not talk to that gentleman. But yeah, art time. So hi chat. There's your story. You're welcome. Hi Dragon, welcome in. So oh boy. Man, I've lived an interesting life. I'm gonna start a poll related to your frog. Oh god. Alright, have fun. Chat. Let's get started. Like I said, please be nice to me. I'm gonna go over some of these to kind of explain to it. Chat, these first ones, I'm going to preface with I was 13. Oh yeah, I was drinking. Sometimes you just drink with people and you don't know who they are. Listen, that's normal. So, every art that I see, I'm gonna take gold from your... Please don't take gold from my character. I have like $2,300. Don't take any gold from me. I've lived a weird life. Anyway, chat, I was 13 at the time. I'm gonna preface this. In 2004, chat, I would like to point out that the emo phase was just starting for many of us. So please consider that when you see some of these. I think I do want to try and add background music just so we could kind of laugh about it. Hold on. How do I get chill hop again? Hold on. Hold on, chat. Hold on. How do I get chill hop? Because I don't want to listen to myself and just feel bad about myself this entire time while I'm explaining how I was an edgy 13-year-old and everyone's gonna see it. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Oh my god, that's loud. Here, you're welcome. Any lewd thirsty drawing? I did? Yes. I absolutely did, quite a few. Yeah. Ants and grass. I bit my friend. I bit my friend because I was being a vampire. Yeah, that's a thing. How do I add, audio input capture? Is that it? No, that's a microphone. Hold on. Add audio output capture? Oh god, is this it? No. Chat, how the hell do I add music? Wait, is that it? Is that it? Chat, I think I figured it out. Hold on. You know what? I give up. You guys can put your own music. I'm putting music in the background for myself. You guys can fuck off. Chat, it's my first ever stream, okay? It was my first ever stream. You guys can put on your own damn music. Alright, chat. Yeah, professional streamer. No, it's my first ever stream. I'm not professional. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So, chat, I would like to open up with I was a very big Inuyasha fan. I was a very, very big Inuyasha fan. A lot of these for probably about 2 or 3 years are probably just going to be Inuyasha. It's just gonna be good. Shut up. I would like to point out that my favorite part that the feet are smaller than the legs are. I don't know why. All legs are just straight. But chat, look, I learned how to do a fold. Look, I learned how to do a fold, chat. There is some earlier stuff, but I put my name all over it, so some of these are gonna be like a couple of changes of just like a jump in quality and things like that. That's okay, you know. My favorite is the trip pants. If you went to Hot Topic around this time, you knew exactly what I was trying to reference over here. Everyone wore trip pants, and everyone was wearing the same thing. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. Chinko cheese, yeah. My favorite is the fact that nobody has a chin. Fucking Rin's face is literally just like a fucking potato over here. I don't know why everybody is sad. You could see here where I fucked up Kikyo's mouth, so I used a little bit of whiteout. Maybe 4 the same person. They're all different. This is Sanko, this is Kakome, this is Kikyo, and this is Rin. They are not the same person. They are not the same person. I used these eyes for probably a good 10 years. I never thought to change them from what I was seeing in the manga. What do you mean nightmare fuel? That's rude. Listen, this is exactly what I wanted to be when I was a kid, okay? I was 13. I wanted to be the cool goth kid. Chat, I was not the cool goth kid. Hi, Aches. Welcome into horror. So yeah, this is in pen. My mom had seen that I really like drawing, and she got me a cartoonist art set. So chat, you're gonna see this shitty pen that I destroyed, and has some like remnant artifacts from, as you could see. The inevitable. Listen. So you're gonna see that. You're gonna see some blue and red pencil. It was meant to be for like animating and stuff. Chat, I did not use it for animating. I absolutely did not. I did not use it for animating. I used it for regular drawing. It was shit quality. Chat, fun fact about my mom. Approximately 6 years ago, she bought me a children's art set for Christmas. She goes, "Well, you like drawing." She bought me one of those shitty children's art sets with like the wax crayons and the shit, you know. Yeah, the first present. I gotta start back from square one. With the crappy wax crayons, the really shitty pastels. No, it wasn't even the rose art sets, okay? My mom didn't have enough money for that. She got me like a really shitty one. For like, it had like a set of drawers, and she was like, "Oh, it'll be fine, it'll be perfect." She's like, "You could use the drawers." And I was like, "Mom, these crayons are like a quarter of the size that they should be." I'm not telling my mom to do it again. So, there you go. There's the first one, chat. It's not gonna get much better from here. Chat. Evanescence was really popular then. But look, I did some somewhat different eyes, but not really different. I could guarantee... Can I flip this horizontal? Is that a thing I could do? Oh, wait. Here we go. We got the pants again. Chat, we got the pants. We got the straight legs with no anything. There's no curves whatsoever except in the arms. Yes, the chain wallets. This is full 2004 in all of its glory. To know if they aren't bad. The problem is my mom is kind of losing it, so I don't think she would get it. So I wouldn't bother with that one. Yeah, we got the wallet going on. We got multiple chains. Listen, that meant that you spent a lot of money at Hot Topic, chat. You probably would have spent a good $200. There was actually a girl that I was going to high school with at the time who had a pair of these, and she wore these every single day because she saved up so much money for these things. And chat, at one point, I think I've told the story before, at one point she fell off of her bunk bed and she had slid it and it was all the way up here, so it was just like a big rip, and she still wore them, chat. Because those motherfuckers were $300 fucking dollars. She was not gonna stop wearing those until they were literally falling apart in her hands. So, listen, people really took their pants seriously. I would just like to point out that, that I was dating her. I wanted to, actually. I super had a crush on her. Unfortunately, she was already dating, one of my friends, and who later became her husband. They were in, like, a threesome thing. And for some reason, chat, there was, like, a whole thing going around through the school that me and my 3 friends were in a foursome. I didn't like any of them. I'm gonna be honest. I did not like any of them. I liked her, but I didn't like any of those 3. So I'm kind of sad that it never came full circle. It was like, hey, Q likes that one. No, it was Q hung out with those 3. Lived a very interesting life. Now that I think about it, I think the one that she was dating may have tried to hit on me a couple of times. But I'm not entirely sure. I have shown that before. It was like the very first plush that I ever made. I did put that into my plush video, so you guys could go and watch that on YouTube. I absolutely made her a cat. That's who I made that for. And I I think she was, but I don't remember. No, I could be a homewrecker if they were already in, like, a threesome relationship. That just would have been a foursome chat. I genuinely don't know. I haven't heard from her since we graduated, so she was also a super senior, so she had, like, failed, I think, 2 or 3 times, so she was already much older than the rest of us. So I don't know if it really would have worked out anyway, which is probably why it was this whole thing. And then in senior year, it was like the big drama was that, like, one of them broke up with the other, and it was a whole thing of them trying to figure out who was going with who. So I have no idea, chat. I have no idea. As far as I know, the 2 got married last I heard. I don't know if it worked out. And I don't know if she still has her trip pants. But I would like to draw attention to the clouds, chat. Just some very good clouds. Those are clouds, chat. That isn't a mistake. Those are gray clouds. Clouds. I know, it's just gray. Listen, it's gotta be gray skies, but listen, it's gotta be blue, so you know it's a sky, though, chat. How else would you know that it's a sky unless I put blue, chat? We're not putting this in a museum. We are not putting this in a museum. Absolutely not. And skies of blue. God, that's so rude. Continuing on with my emo phase, chat. I had a friend that loaned me her New Found Glory CD. And I was like, I feel like out of all people, Inuyasha would listen to New Found Glory. What do you mean, no? It was the time. It was the era. It was Inuyasha. Thank you. Yes, there is a mouth. There is a mouth. Don't you make fun of me. It's right there. There is a mouth. I swear there's a mouth. I had a really shitty scanner. There's a mouth and there's a nose. There's a carrot nose. Yeah, the hands are... Chat, AI generators wish they could make hands like this. How many mouths have we failed to draw? A lot. Some of them were just... Some of these mouths were just dots, I'm gonna be honest. So the fact that I had a line is kind of astonishing, chat. Oh my god, I'm crying. Is it cutting me out? I can't. Oh my god. I can't chat. I don't know why I put rips there. I feel like I had a friend that had a hoodie like this, and I wanted something like it. No, you can unpin it, it's fine. Just, if somebody's rude, just be like, listen, don't be a shit. I'm already being a shit enough as to myself. You don't have to be a shit to me, too. I'd also like to point out that, some trip pants were really cool, and they had, like, extra dangly bits. This also probably would have been about the time that I would have been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts. So you're gonna notice, a lot more belts. You're gonna notice a lot more dangly bits, and, stuff like that. But, yeah, this is a hoodie. This is absolutely a hoodie. You could tell because, this part is, different from the others. However, I forgot the band at the bottom of the hoodie. I'm much proud of myself. This is also probably what I would consider my pineapple head era. Yeah, this is canon. The, the trip pants was canon for every emo goth kid in the 2000s. Thanks, I never in my life owned a pair. I always wanted a pair. Even up until, like, 2012, I wanted a pair, and then I realized nobody wore them anymore, and I was like, I can't. I mean, that face scares me. That is a beautiful face. Look, his face is much longer than the rest of his torso. Oh, chat. Hold on, we're still in 2004. I got 2 more here. Chat, I was so proud of my drawings that I made copies of them. I don't know what that is. I would not call that a leg. I am not calling that a leg. Let's get them together. Yes, let's go. Let's go and get trip pants. Apparently, it's supposed to be making a comeback. But I had a friend that had tracing paper. What do you mean, what's wrong with her legs? Her legs are fine. That's a leg. I don't know what that is. I would not consider that a leg. Her leg is fine. You're gonna chew my leg by me, Slim Chips, and buy me trip pants. But anyway, a friend of mine had tracing paper, and chat. That is not a Silent Hill character, that is Rin. That is Rin from Inuyasha. That is 100% Rin from Inuyasha. Yeah, she isn't sad this time. On ordering the you know what? Don't. Just don't. She had tracing paper, and she thought it was fun to trace, like, over, like, Simpsons characters and stuff like that. And so she gave me a couple of pieces of tracing paper, and I was like, man, I really like this one. We're gonna ignore the leg. Ignore the leg. So, chat, as you can see, there's no pencil markings because I took a tracing of this. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know you were supposed to draw on the back of it to put the pencil on the back, so I would just make tracings of my own stuff. And I took it and I put it on a window, chat, and I made another tracing. So this is probably like the third or fourth tracing of this iteration. So it was on paper, then it was on tracing paper, then I tried it on regular paper, and then I gave up and I put it on a window, and I taped it, and then I drew over it. So that's why you're gonna see some, like, lines that don't properly connect. I don't know why I put, like, little tally marks as if she's waving. My favorite over here is this hand. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but this is probably my favorite hand out of all of them. Listen! I thought that the leg was cute. I thought that the leg was cute. Deep fried meme, that's so rude. It is. It's a very tiny hand. I would also like to point out the fact that I put sock indentations on this one and then forgot this one. Thanks, Eb. Hey, but look, I can draw on a 3D plane. So, there you go, chat. I really had an obsession with Rin. I don't know why to this day. I wish I could show you guys pictures, but I absolutely, about this time, would have started putting a single ponytail in my hair. As if it was like this. But chat, I didn't cut my hair short, so it was just really long, and everyone made fun of me. But that was okay, because I only did that for a year, chat. Only a year. My favorite part of this hand is the fact that the arm kind of goes like this, and then the hand is just like a good 3 or 4 inches off to the side. I do like the fact that there's nail polish, though, chat, and it matches the top. I would also like to point out that everyone wore the same things. And also, as you can see, similar to the Sonic Kid, it was all drawn on notebook paper with all of the shit still on the side. I want to say probably 2 years after this, my mom embarrassed the hell out of me by going to my art teacher and bringing all of my stuff without me knowing and saying that I was such an amazing artist. And bringing shit like this. There's some other worse stuff, chat, that I couldn't show you, either because it had names on it, or it was just too cringe, or it just wasn't good, or it had some personal info on it. But man, there's some good stuff in here. So my mom thought that I was amazing. Apparently, your mom has to be your biggest fan, chat. My mom is a fucking weird lady, which is probably where I get it from. This is a good one is. None of this. Regardless of anything, you could put literal shit next to this, and I'd be like, that shit is better than that. I just can't. So chat, I was 13. I was just about to turn 14. I do have some earlier stuff, but, it just... No. This is about as early as we'll go. So keep this in mind, chat, for all of the rest of time, for all the rest of this, okay? This is what I started out as. Just blocky, straight figures with shit tiny hands, big-ass heads that are kind of skewed. What the... What? I just realized, why does the head go like this? Chat, the chin's over here. The mouth is over here. The nose is over here. The side of the head should probably go somewhere around over here. At some point, I think I'd like to go back and probably, like, redraw some of these just as, like, a joke. But, 3D rendering of a head. Yeah, I 3D rendered the head, but I put the face on sideways. Don't use words like forced perspective. There's no perspective in this. You're giving me way too much credit. Way too much credit. So there you go. That's all of 2004, chat. Are you ready? Because this goes up to 2022. We're gonna be here for a while. So that was probably about the time that I got out of my Inuyasha phase, chat. And I got into my Full Metal Alchemist phase, chat. Fuck yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, we upgraded. We moved on from friendship with Inuyasha and did friendship with Fullmetal Alchemist. On the left, so this is my self-insert character. Chat, I've talked about this before. I've used the name Hyukuro since, like, probably 2004, 2006-ish. So I took the name, and that's where my name came from. Traumatized for the Alphonse's eyes are just like fucking gigantic. They're gigantic and looking opposite ways. They're literally on the side of the head. I don't know why. But yeah, I self-inserted myself into Fullmetal Alchemist. I would also like to point out the fact that the trip pants, while not like fully trip pants, were still around. Okay. However, now I've upgraded, chat, and now we have the front pouch of the hoodie. Oh, and then I started drawing some curves, chat. Also, I think this was done in Sharpie. If I had to warrant a guess. I'm pretty sure that this was a Sharpie. Also, look at that hand. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there is 5 digits. But god, that is a hand. I don't know what the fuck is that. What is this hand, chat? Do you see this? What is this? What is... Yeah, listen, he lost 2 fingers in the war. What do you want me to tell you? So there you go. So this is Kuro. This is my self-insert character. For many, many years, I drew her. You're gonna see her quite a few times. Don't worry, she's gonna come back. But, then, chat, you remember how I said I used to, have my hair like Rin? I then decided that I was gonna take a pair of scissors in my homeroom class, one day. And, I may have given myself bangs like, Edward Elric. They were very awkward. And every other day, I would wear a Fullmetal Alchemist shirt, and I would absolutely braid my hair every other day. The other days, my hair was too, like, clean, because I would, like, wash my hair every other day. And, yeah. Chat, I took a pair of scissors in my homeroom in front of everybody and chopped my fucking bangs. This is why people bullied me in school, chat. I looking back, I probably should not have done half of the stuff that I did at school, because I probably should have kept that to myself. One of these days I should go back and like ask some of my teachers, like, hey, did you worry about me or something? It was absolutely a phase, so that was the start of that. I named this one Jesus fucking Christ. If you didn't see. Maybe it doesn't sound surprising. That's so so rude. I know that we've made fun of this wolf before, chat. This was about the time that I started taking, like, proper art classes, quote unquote. So, do with that what you will. We've talked about this little guy before. So, he still exists. This is a wolf. Don't give me that look. This is a wolf. Those are amazing eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. We've done this before. He's a precious little cinnamon roll. Look at him. You can't do anything but look at him, chat. So yeah, that's why I hated Tyler the Timberwolf. Now, the reason that I'm showing this still, chat, is I was really obsessed with wolves. I tried to be the wolf girl. I had to make a print, chat. So I had to practice my wolves. This was my second iteration. This was one of the ones that I ended up keeping. Black. What did I write here? What is that? Traced. Also, I had a scanner that would sometimes just drop half of it, so this actually continued. So we've actually showed this before. I did actually make a print out of this, chat. I sat there with a wood block, and I hand-carved it, and I made these damn wolves. And it looked like shit, chat. It looked like shit. It was pretty bad. I have shown that one before, so I'm gonna save you guys all the horror of it. But, here are my wolves. I would like to point out that all of their noses are the same. I don't know why I did this. I don't know. I don't know if it was trying to be shadow or what, but, like, I don't know. I don't know, chat. I'd also like to say that the eyes are the most prominent thing in all of these. I don't know why. Thank you, Red. Everybody drink some water. I gotta take a break for a second. Listen, we're not gonna be able to play Planet Zoo at this rate. I'm just gonna keep making fun of myself. I feel like everyone did wolves like these. Everybody stretch. Oh, we're putting on a hat. Hold on. Yeah. Don't worry. More variations of myself are gonna show up. Don't worry, chat. Oh, don't worry. Kuro comes back. I would call this my Pineapple Head era. We kind of saw a little bit of it because of Fullmetal Alchemist, but this was like full-on beehive head. Also, I'm a frog, thanks. I was still obsessed with Evanescence. Like with dreadlocks, yeah, there you go. This is just normal hair. That's a wild stare. See, my favorite part is the fact that, like, the hair is, like, that much bigger, but also the fact that, like, there's been a lobotomy or something, because half of the head is just gone, and all of the face is just right here. The nose is right there. That's a nose. That's your nose right there. That little carrot. Oh, also, I gave myself fangs. This would have been about the time that I bit my friend at school. Chat, this was about the time that I bit my friend. 100%, this is about the time that I bit Ange. I sent her a text recently. She didn't answer me. I asked her if she remembered it, and she never answered, so I don't know if she doesn't realize it's me or what. But, yeah, she is still my friend to this day. I send Christmas presents to her kids. Your internet is like, no, you can't see this anymore. We're saving you from this. So yeah, this is my pineapple hair era, so keep this in mind when we look at the rest of them. So this probably goes on for about, like, 2 or 3 more years, chat. Is it me? See, it says I'm not dropping anything, so it might be Twitch. Because I know Twitch was, being weird a little bit this morning. Oh, it is Twitch. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll keep going. There should be a VOD too. Don't worry if anything goes wrong. So, that's Kuro. That's where part of my name comes back from. I don't want to get to the next one yet, because I would like to point out Chat. This was the character that Kuro was dating. This is Sora. Not only do we have the pineapple head here with the hair, I drew this in pen because I thought it would be edgier. Chat, we have an anarchy symbol. I immediately think of that video. Oh no, my anarchy symbol. That's immediately the video I think of. Don't worry, I'll get to where Q comes from. We got the trip pants back. The problem was that I went to go add chains and pockets and all kinds of shit, chat. But I was really into pen for like about a week or so. And the problem was that you couldn't really add chains and shit when everything was just this massive amount of black, so I just added it in the corners to pretend that it was there. So chat, if you zoom in really close, you could kind of see the inklings of some of the pen marks of me trying to continue it. Yeah. That's a thing, chat. Oh boy, is that a thing. I remember when you guys were making fun of the fact that there's no mouths and no noses? Here's your mouth. It is a dot. We're getting the full backstory. To the crotch, yeah. The eyes are going, like, at a diagonal, and the nose is still a carrot. Yep, and chokers. Everybody had to have a choker. You're seeing the trend of emo edgy Q, okay? Chat, here's the last one in 2005. Please be kind to me. Chat? My store is not working. It is working, it just doesn't like the fact that it isn't HTTPS, so you could click on either of them. Chat, I would like to introduce you to Q. This is where the name comes from. Yes, the color was done in paint. I think I did a good job, chat. You were asking about the backstory of where does Q come from. Here it is. I liked the name because it's the first part of Vampire. My retinas burnt. Oh god. Storytime chat, one of my friends works on Archer. She got her start drawing Teen Titans fan art in paint. I was very inspired by that, chat, because I would have met her about this time. So chat, I went, I could do that, and this is what I did. This is Q. She's gonna show up a lot. This is where my name comes from. I made her into a character. And, as you could tell, I do not look like this. She didn't know. That's so rude. Listen, everyone had to have trip pants. Relatively proportional. I wouldn't call that proportional because the head is like this size, and then it's the torso, and then it's just straight. So, then I don't know why the hair does this. I don't know why. And this was also about the time that you'll start to notice that everybody's hands start disappearing and they all start going into pockets, chat. I gave up on hands at this point. I did not want to draw hands. It's also terrible fucking colors, to be fair. So, keep Q in mind. This is probably going to be our very first iteration of her. But we're going to see her quite a bit. Trick I still do. See? It's a good trick. Everyone does this trick at one point in their art career, okay? I wouldn't even call myself a career. But, there you go. There is, 2005 chat. I'm gonna breeze through 2006 because there really isn't too much. Chat, be happy. I cropped this one out for you just so you could see. The paint, thing continued for a little bit. Yes, happy Easter. I drew this 4/2/2006. I absolutely had a DeviantArt. No, I have deleted that DeviantArt. I went through and scrubbed all of it. It's gone. That's 4/2/06. But no, that DeviantArt is gone. Thankfully. That was not under Q, that was not under Kuro, it was under a totally different screen name. I didn't change it fully until probably a couple of months after this. That I switched over to a different username. So everything, chat, from the time that I was like 10 years old until 15 was under a totally different username. So you guys can't go back and make fun of me because it's a totally different one. I'm sure if you really did some digging, you'd be able to figure it out, but I'd still be able to say, no, that totally wasn't me. I may have gotten a start on the Harry Potter forums. Yeah, when I was 10 years old, I was writing fan fiction about Harry Potter. Some of which I still have, some of which of the pictures I still have, but unfortunately it has my name all over it because this was apparently my time when I was like, ah, yes, I'm gonna put my initials on it like a real artist. But yeah, this is in Paint. I would just like to point out, I still do this X thing for, for when I draw, stuffed animals. I don't know why. I've been doing this ever since 2006. No, I did not write My Immortal. Oh my god, do not wish that evil on me. Do not wish that evil on me. Chat, Paint continues. Oh god, does Paint continue? Not only is it the same face over and over again, I just copied and pasted it, and then I just changed the inside of it. But, this is all Paint. I don't know why I did Kitty. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know, chat. I could not tell you. 15-year-old me was like, yes, this is what I need to do, is I need to draw myself as a cat. I'd also like to point out that grinning and plotting, the only difference is the fact that I had eyebrows. It's just eyebrows. I literally copied and pasted it. I just put eyebrows. Several of the eyes are the same exact, so I think I just copied and pasted those two. This was actually my main page of my DeviantArt for the longest time, chat. It's literally just a cat face. See, it's the same here. It's just the same face 3 times. Oh, chat. Digital art for me was a fucking mistake. You will notice, though, that I did start to get a little bit more of just, like, drawing in general, of just, like, general know-how, because I was actually taking art classes about this time, so I was starting to actually, like, study things that weren't just Inuyasha, things that weren't just Fullmetal Alchemist. I was actually starting to do, like, some proper figure drawing and things like that. Make some emotes, please don't. Alright, I'm deleting that one. So then I have to tell that story. I'm not telling that story. Chat, Q comes back. In comparison to the year before, there's still some problems. We still have this god-awful carrot nose. We still have the sideways mouth, but we have a little bit more of a chin. We have a little bit more of folds and things. So there was attempts. So for everyone that ever says, oh, I can't do art, listen, if you just sit down, even like the difference between 2005 and 2006, this is the same exact Q. It's not bad. Is there things that could be fixed? Absolutely. 100%, absolutely. Does it look like shit? Yes. Is it better than last year's? Yes. So, this would have been about the time, chat, where everybody was doing that thing with their hair, where you would just dye, like, the front bit of it. So I was really inspired by that. So, chat, to this day, Q still has that. It's always pink. I don't know why. But there you go. That's, the rogue tie. really is. Well, then for a while, because of Scout Pilgrim, it was just the one side. But everyone would do, like, the both sides for the longest time. And I was like, I think that's cool. So there you go, chat. There's 2006. 2007 continues in some of the same similar vein. However, I got really into two things. Chat. I got really into butterflies. I don't know why. I really did. I apparently everybody did about this time. It was always butterflies and fairies. Everybody else that's probably my age would probably say, yes, this is exactly the time that, like, Limited 2 and Claire's would have had all of their butterfly shit. You could also see this is about the time that I actually started learning anatomy. So all of these were a lot of sketches and things like that, but I was actually trying to make, like, this part of the arm the same as this. This was here. I was actually starting to put joints and things. So you can kind of see. Now we've actually got some feet, chat. We got a foot. Chat. Chat, look at that foot. Chat, that's a foot. I can't draw that kind of foot anymore. Well, ignoring the fact that there's no heel. But look, I can't draw a foot like that anymore. I'm so proud. Look at that foot. But, for some reason I thought, yes, squiggly, 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 sketchy, squiggly and sketchy wings are the way to go. So, yes, the wings do continue this whole way. I don't know. I don't know why, chat. This is also about the time that you're gonna notice I started doing a little bit of, perspective, quote unquote. I wouldn't really call that perspective, but listen, I was learning, chat. I was learning. Continuing with the butterflies, I actually gave this to my next door neighbor. This would have been about the time that our scanner was kind of on the fritz, so I had to take our digital camera and take pictures of the things that I was drawing. I don't know why the face is like this. I don't know why it's... Here's the chin. Here's the face. So the chin should probably be somewhere about over here. I don't know if I was copying something. I don't know if I was looking at something. But then you'll also notice the torso is like 3 times longer than it should be. Oh boy, chap. I gave this as a gift to somebody. I got really into going to Dollar Tree about this time, drawing pictures of people and gifting it to them for presents. I know of at least 3 people that still have those and make fun of me to this day for having those. And it's kind of painful, chat. I won't lie. Because I'm like, please just get rid of it. They're like, no, it's a piece of history. I'm like, no, please get rid of it. Oh, for the love of Christ, get rid of it. And then in juxtaposition to the other one, for some reason the foot's gone like 3 years back. I don't know how that happened. The other foot looked normal, this one does not. Consistency, chat. I was never good at consistency. So the other thing, because I did say that there was 2 things, chat, the other thing that I was obsessed with. And chat, you guys are gonna make fun of me. So badly. Chat? I don't know if you understand. I was obsessed with Kingdom Hearts. I was absolutely obsessed. I went through and I... on an hourly basis. Oh no, this is pretty bad. I was going to conventions probably like 3 years previous to this starting. I was really obsessed with Kingdom Hearts. I dressed up as Kairi. I had the biggest crush on Zexion. This is a random link to one of your artworks. I don't know. I'd have to contact somebody about setting up a proper API. Because I did not do the quote one. I don't remember where it's hosted. So I never set that up. That was somebody else that set that up for me many, many moons ago, and I gave him like $20 to do it. But I was very obsessed. Don't worry. Don't worry, chat. We're gonna get to the sexy armpit. We're gonna get to the sexy armpit. It's gonna make sense. But I was obsessed with Zexion from Kingdom Hearts. I was absolutely obsessed. Chat? I had to block out some information over there. Chat, all of my homework had Zexion on it. For a while, Kuro was dating Zexion, and I may have written a lot of fan fiction about it. Now we actually have a little bit more of a nose. Are you guys proud? Look at that nose, chat. Look at that nose. Nose. I don't know which way this is supposed to go, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I should rotate this. I genuinely don't know which way this is supposed to go. I genuinely don't know, chat. For all intents and purposes, I don't know why I did this. I thought it was funny. I thought it was art. I would not consider this art. This was done all in a black colored pencil. This is the art of a killer. This would have been about the time that Twilight was coming out, so don't make jokes about that. Thankfully, I did not have a Twilight phase. However, I did watch True Blood. I did read True Blood. I read all of the vampire novels that you could possibly ever do it, but I fucking hated Twilight. Yeah, this is Kuro. This is my self-insert. I have like a whole story. I have a whole family tree. Me and a couple of my friends got together. We made a whole bunch of characters. They have half. Our other friend has a couple. Then there's my side of the family. It's just like this whole thing that we did. It would have been starting about now because we would have been like best friends about this time, where we just got together and we were just like making up shit. Everything possible. I had a whole family of vampires. It was a whole thing. Kuro was a vampire. He was a vampire, but then she was a witch, and then she went off to boarding school, and it is a whole thing, chat. I did all the whole 9 yards that you possibly could as a child, but as a teenager. So unfortunately, that meant that I made art about it. Then, chat, I got bored of that. I don't worry, you're gonna get some of the story as we go. As we went, chat, Kuro got a brother. This is Aiji. Apparently, I don't know why. In my head, it made sense that Zexion broke up with Kuro and started dating Aiji. So that was a whole thing. I don't know why. Seeing myself. No, I don't have a... Essentially, yeah, the start of it. I have no idea why. I don't know why I thought that this was cool. I was just like, all right, you go from one sibling to the other, and I was like, ah, yes, this is perfect. This is the drama I'm living for, chat. This was the drama that I was really into at 16 years old. And listen, he had to look like the true proper emo, okay? He had to have, like little eyebrow piercing. He had to have the long black hair type of thing. This was absolutely a thing. This was definitely a thing. I would like to point out that my hoodies have gotten better. Look, I've actually got some like proper folds, and then everywhere that I couldn't figure out a fold, I would just put a Z. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Oh, thank you for the snack reminder. I actually don't have anything. Hold on, I'll have to go get hold on, chat. I'm gonna leave you with this lovely piece of art. to take a look at while I go and find a snack. I will be right back, chat. Chat, I got some leftover mooncake. That's my snack. Listen, if you celebrate the Lunar New Year, Happy New Year. I still have mooncake. I need to eat it. Please don't make emotes out of these. So chat, background story. This is a blatant tracing from Godchild, if you've ever seen that. It is a horror manga. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, it kind of goes through, like, phases of continuing and not. I don't know which way this is supposed to go. I don't know if it goes this way, because it looks awkward. I don't know if it goes this way. So I just kind of stuck with this. But I think it's going this way? I don't know. Chat, I don't know why his arm is so long. Why are his arms so long? Your arms don't go down that far. He's just really long and lanky. But some context of Cyril, because you'll actually see him a little bit later. My friends and I got together and we were like, hey, we should make a whole bunch of guys that are in a threesome. And apparently that was just what we did at 16 years old, was we just made up a whole bunch of characters that we would just RP as. So Cyril, he was a exquisite, fine gentleman. One of our other friends made a guy named Echo. She never actually fully made him. All we knew is that he did pottery. And then there was another one. I can't tell too much about that one because they're actually writing a novel about it. But there was a whole other one, and they were all in, like, a weird relationship. It was bizarre. But I really liked the character of Cyril, so he's gonna come back, chat. Don't worry. You're not gonna miss him. I mean, you're wild. Listen, we did weird shit. Where's the lewd drawings? That wasn't for a couple of years. I didn't start doing lewd art. Sorry, chat, 1 second. I didn't start doing lewd art until I could try and make money from it because it was just not something that I was really into and still isn't. So, I've talked about this a couple of times, but I'm very asexual. You're welcome, chat. It's just never been something for me. It's never been something I enjoyed, and when people were like, hey, you should make lewd art to sell, I was like, okay. So that was the only reason I did it. So none of this ever went anywhere, chat. Literally. 100%. None of this ever went anywhere with any of them. It's all of a sudden another child would spawn, and we were like, oh, there's another kid! Like, I don't know where they came from, but here's another child. Like, there was nothing ever lewd with any of us. I don't know why. Genuinely don't know why. Never been a thing for me. So I started making art for lewd purposes, literally just to sell, and then I never sold any of it, so I stopped doing it. So there you go, chat. There's the background on me. I don't know why. But welcome to 2007. Listen, we gotta have our emo boy, and I still like the fact that his hair is just like Aiji's, if you noticed. I just went straight down. I don't know why. It's just, everybody had that kind of hair. Everybody had that kind of hair. So, chat, that's 2007. That's, we're getting there. Don't worry. Some of these are kind of great. Let's start here. Chat, the glow up on the fucking wolf. The fucking glow up on this fucking wolf. Chat, we had a thing in art where we had to make 6 variations of the same picture. And this one was my favorite out of all of them, chat. Do you remember the wolf from before? Look at this shit. I was still going around 6 years later showing this off to people that I was going to college with. I was so proud of this fucking wolf. Do you see this fucking wolf? I know, he's got God, that is an amazing cat eye. I actually sat down, chat, and I actually looked at some pictures of wolves and I went, okay, this is cool. Okay, so they're gonna have a little bit of a muzzle. Okay, it's gonna have some like various things. I would have added in the whiskers, but I was too worried that it was gonna detract from the eyes. I wanted the eyes to be the focal point. You can even see where like I did some like smudging and erasing over here to try and get some shines. Chat, what the fuck? Why did it take me 6 years to do this? It is. It's just staring at me like, what are you doing? Why did you draw me? Why did you why did you cause this? You can actually also see I actually like would take this to school and everything to like college because I was really proud of it. So you could see where it's kind of been like worn and everything because I was like so proud of this thing. So yeah. There you go. That's my wolf. Chat. That's the only good part we're gonna get out of this year, because trust me, it's gonna get worse. So that's my wolf. Please keep this in mind for all the rest of this. When I actually apply myself, I can be pretty decent at art. Then there's the instances of where I didn't apply myself. Chat, I would like to introduce you to what all of my friends affectionately called, the ninja eating her scarf. This was at the front of my sketchbook. Every time that people would go through my sketchbook, they would make fun of this ninja eating a scarf. I don't know why I did this. Also, welcome back, Dragon. I don't know why I did this. I don't know why the hands are noodles. I don't know why the hair is stringy. I got really into scarves. I got really into scarves, and chat, I'm still really into scarves. I don't look, man, look at those fingers. This is what AI art wants their fingers to look like. And then I gave up over here, and I was just like, make them look like mountains. But look, we still got the continuation of the eyes that are just like Inuyasha. Like I told you, for many years, these eyes are gonna be the same. They have not changed. Salad fingers. This would have been about the time of salad fingers too, so maybe that's what I did? I have no idea. I don't know. Everyone made fun of me. If you guys go back to some of my friends, even some of my friends that I stream with who I've known for many, many years, they're gonna remember this one and be like, oh yeah, the ninja eating. I don't know why, chat. I don't know why I was like, ah, yes, this is art. But, yeah, I was still doing the thing where I put my initials at the bottom of everything. As if somebody was gonna steal this from me. So remember that wolf. That's what I drew. That is, what I drew. Chat, we've got the, comeback of Kuro. This is my long phase. I don't know why, but I doodled on all of my homework, chat. I don't know why she's so long. This was also about the time that I decided that flippy hair was fun. So you're gonna notice like a little bit of a change. This is absolutely still the same character. This is still the same character, okay? 100% still the same character. She did not change. However, her hair flipped to one side for some reason. So I did that for a very long period. And, why is she so long? Those are some really good boots, though. Oh, maybe it was Coraline. Yeah, I was really into Tim Burton, so maybe. I just... I genuinely do not know why. You're gonna see a lot of very long people here for probably like the next 2 years, chat. Very, 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 very long. Very, 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 very long people. I just went through these weird phases. I don't know why, chat. I just don't know. Continuing on with Kuro, this was about the time that I got really into pixel art. Need to add more of them. Yeah, I should make new PNGs of all of them. So we still have a little bit of the long, but I started doing pixel art, chat. And actually, I wasn't bad at it. I actually really liked it. I did a couple of tutorials, and I really, really liked it. So this is Kuro. This is effectively what she was supposed to look like. That other one was literally the same exact outfit, chat. Well, I added some more tears, but the other one was supposed to be that. So, yes, I do know diamond painting. My mom does a lot of diamond painting, actually. I know, I just got really good at paint because I just really liked the pixel art thing. Now, the problem was that this took me a very long time, chat, and I just couldn't be asked to do this all the time. So I had, like, a period where I was, like, pixel art for, like, 6 or 7 months or so, and then I just stopped. I don't know why. Look, I even have, like, somewhat of a hand. It's a little bit scuffed, because you could see where it just kind of disappeared. Because it just didn't work. I don't know why. So, like, some of it just doesn't work properly. But, yeah, and then I actually put, like, little details and stuff, and then I figured out some shading. Look at that, chat. I got shading. Chat. I learned how to do shading with this. Twitch zoomed in the image. Ah. I know, and then you can actually see there's some shading here too, but the rest of this is just like a blob. I couldn't really figure out how to do the Z thing that I would do everywhere else. And it just didn't make any sense. So I was like, okay, so some parts are gonna have some shading. Like, look, we've actually got like a tube. We got the highlight over here. We got the highlight up here, so I don't know where the hell the fucking light is coming from. It's just coming from wherever the fuck I felt like. Apparently there's multiple lights, because you have a light source here, a light source here, a light source here, and a light source here. So it's still not amazing, chat. But thank you, everybody. Drink some water while we appreciate. Chat, I learned how to shade. Chat, in 2008, I learned how to shade. So continuing with the shading, chat. We have this monstrosity. Now, I'd like to draw attention to the back of her head. If you notice, it kind of stops here weirdly. That's because that's actually where it originally stopped. So ignore all of this from here over. That's the size of her head. I actually posted this on DeviantArt, and my friend Mary, God love her, we're still friends to this day, super sweet, absolutely amazing cosplayer. She was like, hey, where's the other half of her head? And I was like, oh my god, and that's the first time that I realized that the head continues, and I had to add more, chat. Have a good night, eggs. So yeah, this was my vampire couple. This was the only time that I drew them. This was the only time that I did anything with them. This is a gold-colored pencil, chat. It doesn't look gold, but it was a gold-colored pencil, and I was so excited when I got a gold-colored pencil, because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do so much cool shit. Chat, that is not gold. Crayola-colored pencils lied to me in 2008, chat. That is not gold. Crayola lied to me, chat. That is not a gold-colored pencil. I should bring them to life in RimWorld. Hey, this is the... Look, all of this is supposed to be gold. All of this here, this here. Look, we've got a little bit of a hand. We've got a little bit more. This is gold. This was supposed to be gold. Down here, this is gold. All of this whole dress underneath is all gold. It is not gold, chat. 17-year-old me would like to go back in time and would like to sue them. Because that is not gold. I would also like to point out that his legs just kind of disappear. But look, I got shading, chat. I think the light is supposed to be coming from this way, but I never kind of realized that you're supposed to use other colors for shading. So everything is just shaded in black, chat. I probably didn't realize color shading was a thing until probably about 3 years ago or so. And also there's some here, there's some shading here, and then there's just this. Chat, I was actually getting, like, decently properly better. Keep that in mind when we go to 2009. Keep that in mind when we go to 2009. Because, chat, it gets worse. Remember how I said I got into that flippy long body phase? Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Why is Q so long? Chat, why is Q so long? You could tell it's Q. Because we still have the pink going on. So that's unfortunate. But Dragon, I'll be streaming for a while, don't worry. We have IG back here. We have Kuro. We have Q's sister. I think this is Alice, and that's Kana, I think. If you just look over here, it's just like, okay, this is relatively normal, and then you just zoom out, and you're like, why is everyone so long? 9'11". Everyone's gigantic. I don't know why. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just... That's just what I did. We got kind of sketchy around here too, so you're gonna notice like some weird sketchy shit every so often. So this is definitely it. Imagining a walk cycle. I don't want to. It's gonna be like Quap. Just falling over. Can't keep balance. Oh boy. But yeah, you could see I did kind of like the hair flippy thingy. I actually kind of did it with Kana as well, but I really didn't like it on her, so I actually got rid of it a little bit later. I think I killed her off at one point, so I don't think she's actually a character in the story anymore. But I did actually take Mary's word to heart with a little bit more head in the back. So I'm actually starting to do like circles and then adding a little bit of the back of the head. So the eyes on the right. Oh, Kana. I know, it's just like sideways. I don't know why, but I really liked that look. So I was trying to do that as much as possible. So I don't know why. I don't know why, chat. And then I don't know why IG has fucking yellow eyes. He's supposed to have green eyes. And then he just disappears. I didn't draw the rest of him. It just here's his torso, and then it's just gone. It should probably continues here or something, but it just doesn't. So there you go, chat. Then I got really into drawing people in kimonos. I don't know why, but the sketchiness continues. It was just sketch after sketch after sketch, and I was like, ooh, this is like shading, right? Chat, it's not like shading. Chat, don't listen to anyone that's like, oh, just drawing in sketchy stuff. No. That is not shading. That is not shading, chat. 2009 was a weird time for my art. Because not only was I in school, in high school, and then I was going to college, but I kind of had a little bit of an ego, chat. The school, I had a very large class. It's the start bar at the top. I like it up there. It's really nice. I may have graduated with a class of 1,000, and they may have voted me and the entire grade to be the most artistic. I think it was literally just because I was always drawing. I don't think it was because I had any kind of like good talent or anything. So it kind of pissed off the other people in my art program. So I kind of tried to do other things that weren't necessarily anime-like, but it was still definitely an influence on me. So that was the problem. So that's why I started doing like, I'm doing something different and weird. I did not do anything different and weird. I just did the same shit chat. Then we have, no, we already did that one. I'll get rid of that one. Then chat, I went to college and I got very inspired. For some reason, it was like an Indian art class and there was just like this really pretty archway. So I just always drew this damn arch. There's like 4 or 5 of these where it's just somebody standing in an archway, just emo as shit. Chat, I never got rid of my emo phase. Chat, we made fun of me in 2004 for my emo phase, but here we are, like, 5 years later, and I'm still in that emo phase. I'm still in that emo phase. 5 years later, I was just like, stand in an archway and look all creepy. I know I'm emo for life, apparently. I don't know why. Oh, and then I had to draw, like, little leaves coming in, but there was no leaves anywhere else. I think that's supposed to be a leaf, but I'm not sure. It's just, like, a blob down here. It's just a blob in the corner. I also, may have taken... You remember those, crappy art kits that I was talking about? I may have taken the watercolors out of them and, attempted to learn how to watercolor with them. That is what this is, chat. Those are those crappy $5 watercolor sets. You'll also notice I kind of gave up on hands at this point. I'd been kind of sneaking this in and I was trying to make it like my signature thing was to just give up on hands and just make them circles. Chat, I just didn't want to draw hands. Chat, I just didn't want to draw hands. 100% didn't want to draw hands. I didn't. 3,000%. Yeah, mitten hands, everyone. Don't worry, because it's gonna continue. Chat, I was living in a dorm, and one of the things that I wanted to do was to always have stuff on my door. So every week I would draw something and put it on my door. For Halloween, I drew this. I put this on my door for everyone to see. I don't know why I did, but I did. At least I've got some folds going on. This would probably be considered probably one of the earliest versions of me. There was another version with, like, Q and, like a hat and everything, but that was many years previous, and that was just because I felt like it. Yeah, the eyes. Listen, the eyes still continued. I warned you. The eyes have still persisted all of these years later. Even the choker is still here, chat. I have, like, certain things that I always would do. Chokers, the same goddamn eyes, and the same fucking shitty body with absolutely no curves whatsoever. Is this the costume? No, I was wearing a Guns N' Roses hoodie and, black jeans. That was my costume when I bit my friend Ange. Listen, I was really into details. Look, one of these is broken. Chat, aren't you proud of me? I did something weird and outlandish. Yeah, that is... I don't know what that hand is. I wouldn't really consider that a hand. Especially because the thumb is, like, longer than the index finger. But you know what? Yeah, it's doing whatever it can. Yeah, this is definitely a thing, chat. That was a thing. So this was 2009, chat. So I would have been a freshman in college. This was probably about the time that I was just sketching because I wasn't doing any more art classes. So I have some stuff. I was actually an art major, fun fact, when I first started out. However, I couldn't afford the program, and it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. And they wanted all kinds of stuff. They wanted you to pull your own canvas. They wanted you to crush your own paints. That shit's expensive. And I was a full ride scholarship kid who could not afford anything else. So about that time, I dropped out. So I wasn't happy about it and I stopped doing art for a little bit. I didn't do anything fully. I didn't make anything like too specific. And I should have been this an artist on it. Yeah, that is pretty much the degree. All of my friends that were from the program, they don't even do anything with art. So go fucking figure. So I'm glad I dropped out of it, but I was like a little bit jaded to it, so I didn't really have anything that was like fully fleshed out. So instead, I just took my sketchbook and me and my friends, we would just draw on it. So, chat, this was about the time that we got really into Pokemon. And we started trying to draw our trainers. So this is my trainer. This is my Pokemon trainer. It'll come back, don't worry. I think she's super cute. This was about the time that floppy hats were like really in. If you look back, especially a lot of emo kids, they were really into floppy hats. I thought it was cute. Hey, remember when I was making fun of that Alphonse stuffed animal? I still do stuffed animals like this. Even now, when I draw on my little business cards and I draw a little bat, I always make the mouth a little cross. I don't know why. I think it was something that I saw at Hot Topic once, or it was an emo thing. I have no idea. I don't know, chat. I really don't know. It was always just so cute. So, chat, apparently that was the end thing in 2010 was to make your own Pokemon trainer. So this was like probably the most that I did in terms of art was to just do random sketches. I didn't draw anything. I didn't like properly draw anything. I didn't color anything. I didn't do physically anything for any intensive purposes. This was just all that I did. But I like her outfit. I think it's kind of nice. I think it's very Pokemon-esque. You could definitely see where I kind of gave up and just put the hands in the pockets type of thing. And then we've gone back to the sketchy style. See, I was doing so good for so well, and then I just gave up on art. So don't go into art degree, kids. Don't do it. It'll kill all of your drive and motivation for art. Maybe at some point, maybe I'll make this into like a proper backpack because I think that'd be kind of cute. But yeah, there you go, chat. Make yourself a Pokemon trainer. And then Q comes back. Chat, we're making progress. We're still long, but we're not as long. It is. It's cute. Q comes back. We switched to the other side now for the little doodad thingers over here. We still have the damn choker. Even though this is like 2010 and they didn't even they were not cool for probably about 15 years at this point. No, I don't have a category because I don't want people finding this. I don't want people finding this. This is for you guys. This is a thank you for hitting a whole bunch of incentives and things, not only for the subathon, but also the donation stuff, because we have put this on there a couple of times. I know, my degree for I started out with a degree in art. Hated it. I switched over to acting. Hated it. Switched over to languages because I'm pretty good at them. I speak many, many languages. I hated that. But at that point, I already changed my degree 3 times, and I didn't want to change it again, so I stuck with it, even though I fucking hated it, chat. I hated the curriculum. I hated a few of the professors. And I just despised it. It wasn't at all what I wanted, but I was already through it, so chat, I have a degree that I do nothing with. I have a couple of degrees. I have a degree in East Asian languages and cultures with a combination concentration of Chinese and Japanese, specifically Mandarin. I also have a degree in interactive, well, they changed the name, but video game studies. I also have a minor in Korean. I have a minor in Chinese art. I have a thematic sequence in Asian American studies. So I've got quite a few degrees. I just do nothing with it. I hated it. I had a job that I can't talk too much about. They refused to give it to me because of a couple of different issues. I've kind of hinted at it. So there you go. That was it. I I tried it, chat. I couldn't find a job in it, and I didn't want to do like traditional, just like sit around on the computer and just do crappy translating, and I just didn't want to. I had a job for translating for video games. I was promised it. Yeah, I can't talk too much about that because of NDA and stuff. But I wasn't happy. So there you go, chat. Something about degrees. They're just, it has to be something that you really, really, really want to be in, and you're okay with changing exactly what it is that you're like, with what it is that you're going in with the expectations, and you have to be open and fluid to it, and I guess kind of adaptable. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like, I hate this. Why am I doing this? The only one with a job in astronomy. See? It just happens. You're just like, this is not what I want to do, but I'm already 3/4 of the way through it. I'm not just gonna change, you know? It's something about the higher education just kind of kills it for people. And it's very, very common. So if it happens to you, don't feel bad. If it doesn't happen to you, don't feel bad either. It's just common. But that doesn't mean that it's not uncommon either. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's same for me. There's no jobs. Otherwise, I would have had to have moved to California or moved to Japan. That was it. I was promised multiple things because they wanted me in the door. They wanted me to do this. They promised a whole bunch. They were like, "Yeah, we're going to have all kinds of support for you afterwards." I have not heard a word from any of them since 2013. So, I learned my lesson. I wish I didn't have to pay $60,000 to learn that lesson, but I've learned that lesson. So there you go, chat. It's a very expensive college. But yeah. So all I did was I just doodled. This was literally a doodle, chat. I I had no motivation for anything. I was very much so sad, but it wasn't to the point where it was like preventing me from doing things. This is about the time that I got really into like college life and running different organizations, helping out with different things. This would have been about the time that we started doing the charity work for tsunami stuff. Would have been about this year and the next year. And, that was it. So I know I'm literally looking at 5 sketchbooks that I haven't drawn in about a year and a half now. I can physically turn and see them. And I'm like, damn it, me. One of these days. So there you go. There's 2010. So chat, 2011, you're gonna see a little bit of a change. Chat, in 2011, I got a tablet. I had a friend of mine who I was going to school with who had a Wacom, who used it literally just so he could sit back from the laptop and he could put the mouse on it and he could use the mouse. That was what he used it for. So he goes, I'm not really using it. He's like, hey, for 20 bucks, do you want mine? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So he went and bought a different one. He gave me this one. It was a crappy little like bamboo one. I think it was probably from like 2007 or something. It wasn't very great. I couldn't figure out pressure, but at the same time, it was also just fun for me just to kind of mess around because at this point, I think I'd only drawn on a tablet maybe like once when a friend of mine bought one. But I thought it was fun. So I drew this traditionally. And then chat, I may have downloaded a program that I will not say. And chat, here was my first instance of digital artwork. I know, the head. The head is very elongated for some reason. I hadn't quite figured out that you have the ability to move things. So I wanted to fix it, but at this point I was just kind of drawing over what I already put. Yeah, the face wants to leave. I'd also like to point out that there's the one single top hat. This would have been about the time that like the tiny hats were really popular, especially at conventions. And I thought it was cute. And I was like, ah, yes. The circle hands still continue. You can kind of see where I tried to move the hands. And, yeah, so I would have probably tried to cut it out and tried to move it. And chat, I left a whole bunch of artifacts. Over here, I kind of did a little bit of the same. I couldn't really figure out how to draw on the lines very well. But chat, I was proud. Man, look at that. Look at that color variation. The color variation, chat. Look at that color variation. So proud of it, chat. I really tried. I don't know why. I got really into drawing people that look like very Victorian around this time. So that was like one of the things that I wanted to do. I don't know why. I was just really into it in 2011 and 2010, chat. So there you go. So moving on to 2012, we're gonna see a lot more of digital stuff as we keep going. But I was trying to still keep with like some of the stuff that I was doing. So I'll get to the other stuff in a second here. Chat. Here's my Minecraft character. The face is still for some reason so far away. I'm not exactly sure why. It's just farther away from everything. You could also kind of see that these funky lines were from the scanner. This wasn't me. I swear. But it's definitely a mess. We still have the choker going on though. I'm glad that I've kept that since 2004, chat. That has never stopped. Yeah, it's getting there, quote unquote. You know, we're trying to get some we're trying to get some folds and things. Look at that. we have a bag. That's what this is. This is a messenger bag because I was a male person. It was a Minecraft roleplay server. So fun fact, chat, that is where the Oculus is from. We were a Minecraft roleplay server, and I wanted to be a mail carrier. I don't know why, I just thought it would be really fun. But yeah, the eye is, definitely far away. At this point, I don't think I was using a lot of guidelines still. It was just whatever looked nice is what I was doing. So, chat, that's 2012. Now comes the fun part. Chat. Q's back. Q is very much so back. I decided that I was going to draw her in a bar. And for some reason, I really liked it. Chat. I drew it multiple times, chat. It is a big style change. Not only is it in pencil, not only is it in color pencil, hold on, chat. It's digital too, motherfucker. Chat, I don't know why. Chat, I don't know why I really liked this. They're all slightly different too, which I think is more funnier than all of it, because we've got like this weird, like, thin line bullshit going on with everything. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna start coloring all the lines to look like it's not lined. Yeah, there's no skin tone here. I don't know what you're talking about. Chat, can you tell me the difference between these pictures? Chat, can you tell me the difference between these pictures? I'd go on a limb to say that you can't. Chat. Why did I like this so much? Don't worry. You think you're missing it? Don't worry, it's gonna come back later. Just wait. So this is 2012. So I just yeah, all three are flawless. What do you mean both? These oh, look, I even tried doing lights and color pencil and I was like, "Ah, that looks really nice." And then I was like, "Oh man, I left it out on the pencil one." So I was like, "Why wouldn't I do that?" Find a place to smoke inside, especially in 2010 and 2012. That wouldn't have existed since like 1996. Uh so I went, "Oh man, I should probably do that here." And then I forgot. And instead I did the windows in the background chat. But look, we've got some shading and shit. Look at that. Look at that shading. Look at that shading. Look at it. Look, we've got shading everywhere. Oh, and then I put the light on this one instead. Listen, they can't afford to keep both lights on, chat. Because I thought it would be funny to make it so that her roots are red. Like she hated her red hair. That is, I don't know why. I couldn't even tell you. But listen, the pink still continues. The pink still absolutely continues, chat. Still does. I don't know why. No, do not save this monstrosity. So, there you go, chat. That's 2012. Remember that picture, though. Remember that picture. We're gonna skip 2013, although that one's kind of nice. It is kind of Guro now that I'm thinking about it, so probably wouldn't be good to show off. How many more years? We got till 2022. Don't worry. They're gonna get more sparse. Here, we'll do this one. I drew Troc. Especially as you unrust. I know, it's just gonna be me just fucking just drawing circles, being like, I don't remember how to draw. I just don't. This is Troc. This is our glorious leader of the Oculus. This is what I pictured him to, look like. This is not what she looks like. Yeah, much improved. Everybody drink some water. We've got some, Inspector Gadget shit going on. I don't know why. We definitely got, a little bit more shading. I was really into, shading being like this. Like, just very, like, cel-shaded. Very soft. I really liked it. Everybody stretch. Thank you, Rin. We've actually got details and shit, chat. Look, we've got, like, buttonholes and things. Chat, I was so proud of this. I'm still proud of this. I'm still like, man, I'm so proud of myself. We have a little bit more of a normal face, but this glasses are still a little bit askew and weird. But listen, I was really doing very well. I really was trying my best. Troc was like, hey, can you draw me? And I was like, okay. So this is what I always pictured Troc to look like. Troc does not look like this. And he was like, that doesn't look like me. And I was like, listen, sorry. So, there you go, chat. I drew a fucking jacket. I drew a jacket and I put little details and shit. Look at those fucking buttonholes. Chat, look at those buttonholes. Chat, that's a fucking buttonhole. Look at that. So you could see I kind of did like this weird juxtaposition of like, no, button, not butthole. I had like this weird juxtaposition where some lines were gonna be colored and some were gonna be black. I don't know why. Said, draw what you think I look like. Oh god. And look, we've kind of got a little bit of a nose. We've got some... I kind of skipped the shading on the nose. I've never been really good at nose shading. I kind of fixed this a little bit later, but... So, we're starting to get a little bit away from the anime style, a little bit more kind of like realistic. So, don't worry, that's all gonna change. Cause then we have this shit. I don't know why I did that. I got really into sketchy. Look at this busted ass nose. What is this busted ass nose? Where the fuck is the... Where's the lip? Where's anything? It's just fucking straight down, chat. I don't know why. I really liked how people were doing realism, and I was trying to kind of practice it and kind of get that. Chat, I absolutely did not. Absolutely did not. This is not Kuro, by the way. This is the grandmother. You can't mix them up, chat. Don't mix them up. They're totally different people, even though they all look the same, because all my art looks the same. But look, we've got some, like, sketchy bits. I still kind of like that eyebrow. I really like the eyes. I don't know what the fuck I did with the hair. I couldn't even tell you. It's hair. It's hair, and it's sketchy, and it's a mess. But you know what? It works, right, chat? So that was 2014. Like I said, these are gonna go faster because I don't have as many. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Chat, I would like to introduce you to 2015. Q comes back. So I had told myself that what I wanted to do was I really liked the bar one. I really, really liked the one in the bar. Chat, I told myself, listen, don't make fun of the potato nose, okay? That was a pretty good nose, okay? Especially for me. Especially because this took me like 5 minutes. I sketched this really quick because we were doing like a whole thing back and forth. Oh, don't worry, we're revisiting the bar. Oh boy, are we revisiting the bar. Chat, I tried. This is a work in progress. It looks like shit. I hated it. I stopped. I hated it so much. I tried to mix up everything. I tried to move things. I tried to use you know, like the vector tool and stuff. It didn't go very well. I was trying to do some like proper drawing. I was trying to do like a proper nose. It just was not working out. So I gave up on that one, and that was fine. This was also about the time that like I got really into making like funky diagonal cat eyes. So now my eyes are finally starting to evolve, chat. This is 2015. This is 11 years later. I have finally dropped the fucking Inuyasha eyes. Chat, it took me 11 years to drop the Inuyasha eyes. Chat, it took me 11 fucking years. I hope you all appreciate that. I warned you that the eyes were going to continue. And they did. They absolutely did. I hated this. I stopped working on it. Instead, I kept with the sketch. And chat, that's the only thing that remains of this, is this sketch. Which I liked. I liked the sketch. When I started lining it, it looked like crap. So, there you go. So that's that part. Paired fish and Rao rude. So let's get rid of that one. Are these ones copies? Yes, these ones are copies. Okay. Chat. Q comes back. Like I said, we've got now the stylized eyes. I started using her as a D&D character. So in 2015, she became like this full-fledged thing. She was separate from whatever the fucking story was. She's now just this like side thing that she does. I really liked this one. It's definitely sketchy. It's definitely still got like anime tendencies, but it's also got like some like really weird coloring. So it's not like it's a bad thing, but it's just kind of weird. But it was also good because I kind of did this in like 5 minutes. So I was like, oh man, I did really good. And then I was like, I gotta make it seem like she's kind of mystical and crazy. So I just drew like this fucking yellow blob behind her. I don't know why. This also would have been about the era that I was learning Paint Tool Sai. So you're gonna see some craziness as I was trying to find turning Super Saiyan. You know, I think you're not the first person to make that joke. I feel like a couple of people have. But yeah, we've actually got some like, you know, some normal-ish kind of clothing and stuff. I don't know why. And then we got some like tattoos and things. Chat, I was so proud of myself. We're like mystical. Listen, probably. Absolutely probably. Hell, listen, we got fucking knees, chat. We got knees. So proud of that. And then we're gonna immediately juxtapose this with I wanted to learn the vector tool. And chat, this would have been about the time that I started streaming art on Twitch. Which quote was that? Oh god. Which quote was that? Does anyone remember? Can someone do quote, exclamation point quote? Let's see if we can find it. Because now it's gonna make more sense. That wasn't it. Nope. Is it number 6? Number 7? I think if you do quote space 7. Is it 5? So quote space 5. Okay. Chat, the armpit! Chat, it all makes sense. It's all come full circle. Chat, I started doing commissions. You don't even need to get rid of this commission thing because it's not even that good, I promise. You're not missing much. Chat, look at that fucking armpit. Why is her body in 2 pieces? Because it's supposed to be a mermaid. And, I'm not very good. Yes, that's the sexy armpit. That's the infamous sexy armpit. Chat, I learned that there were brushes in Photoshop. Chat, I learned that there were brushes in Photoshop. Do you know how excited I was, chat? I learned that there were brushes in Photoshop. Look at the clouds. Look at the motherfucking clouds, chat. Look at that cloud brush. Oh my god. Look at the shells. I put shells everywhere. I hand drew everything else. We've got scales. I figured out how to add scales, chat. I added scales in Psy. We've got more shells. This was my friend, Shelly, who wanted wanted herself as a mermaid. So, there you go, chat. I started doing art on Twitch. So, I know this is where several people know me from. NS, I think this is where you found me as well, too. It would have been about this era. So yeah, I started doing art. And we've actually got some, like, things that you could see through. Look at that, chat. We're still keeping up with the shitty, sketchy fucking hair, though. We've definitely got the eyes definitely at a, 45-degree angle for some reason. Yeah, we used to, who was it that we used to watch? Who was it that had the Foxes alert? Who moved to Ireland? We used to sit in her stream all the time. Who else was doing art? Oh my god, there was a whole bunch of people doing art. This would have been before the art streams were an art stream. Like, you had to be in, just, like, no... Everybody was in no category. Because there was no proper art category at this point. So when you found art streams, you were like, yay, I found an art stream. So everyone would pop in. I would just draw for hours, and I would put up Winamp in the corner, and we would just listen to random shit. So there you go, chat. I would just like to point out that my shading got worse at this point because I was trying to focus on, like, actually getting anatomy right. Chat, I was trying to focus on getting anatomy right. I was trying to get anatomy right. As I say with a fucking broken-ass hand up here. Really whips the llama's ass. Listen, every time that you re-downloaded that and it opened like that and you were like, and then you were like, oh, now I can reinstall all my skins. Yeah, that is definitely anatomy. That is the best way to describe that. Yeah, it's just a fish, right? Listen, it's because it's a fish. Then, chat, I decided that I was going to try and use the vector tool to try and make a background, and we drew this on stream. Now, chat, I hate the rest of this. This bit down here is the only part that I like, ignoring the pen. This part, this little sketchy, like, cartoony shit, this is the only part I like. Fuck all the rest of it. The rest of it looks like shit. We're just gonna look at this part, chat. Hold on. Look how good I did, chat. Look how cute that is. Chat, look at this. Chat, isn't that cute? Chat, why can't I do more like this shit? Chat, why did I do this? Why didn't I just do this for the rest of forever? It's so cute. Trying the artist I want to be. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. And instead I was like, people like this more. And we would just sit here and I would just color in books. And it was pretty bad, chat. We've got a little bit more of like proper anatomy. So now she's not like stickly thin, but I know, it's actually super cute. I was like, oh man, this is so nice. I think it was like the crayon tool. And I was like, this looks like it actually makes sense. But then it doesn't make sense because you have like a red fucking pen here. Where's the red? Where's the red? No, it's Rosalina. But listen, then I learned how to do gems. Look at that. Chat. You just had to apply yourself and you could do nice things. And then other bits where I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. And it's just like the same Luma fucking copied and pasted. I did it. Did I draw that or did she draw that? No, you know, that is a good question. I know, this is like, oh, this is my favorite part. And then I drew everything around it and I was like, I hate this. Why can't I just zoom into this? Why can't I just do this part? I should have just left it at this and just called it chat. I should have never drawn the rest. It's just every Luma's the same exact. I just copied and pasted all of them and kind of squished them a little so it looked like they were different, but they're all the same one. They're literally, look, this one's just fatter and rounder. This one's taller. This one's the normal one. This one's smaller. This one's off in the corner and this one's hidden so you wouldn't know. This one too. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Welcome to 2015 art. You know what? I don't know what she needs the red for. I think I was just like, I need another color in here that wasn't the blue. So now we're fully into some of the digital stuff. Some of these are going to get like a little sporadic. So we have my Art V artist in 2016. Obviously, I took out the picture of myself. But here you go, chat. Here was some of the stuff that I was doing. This one was a commission for another friend, Space Queen. Here was a little infographic of myself. This was actually my banner for YouTube for a while. Here's Q at the bar. I redrew it, chat. I redrew it, chat. Hold on, let me see if I could find it. Where is it? Is it that one? No, it's this one. Chat, I redrew it. Chat, I redrew it. Hold on, let's get rid of everything else. Oh no! Hold on. Oh, because... Okay, so how do I release clipping? Yeah! Chat. This is the crappy version of it. But I redid it. Chat, I did it as a, hey, we're going back to this. How do I get rid of... Yeah! Chat, I redid it. Chat, I went, man, I really want to redo this as like a couple of years later. Chat, look at the difference. Q's always smoking, okay? That's just normal. We've got some lights. We've got some shine. We've got some shit coming out of the fucking cigarette. Chat, I worked really hard. Chat, I worked really hard. I worked on it throughout all of 2015, and I brought this out in like 2016. We're back to the potato nose that everyone's making fun of me for. But we still got the sketchiness, but at the same time, it's actually kind of stylized, and it kind of works. Chat, it all came back full circle. I was saying this last year, is that I should have done like another variation of it, just like my new style, but I just didn't get around to it. I just didn't. I didn't, chat. It's an issue. I just didn't. I know the eyes are weird, it's okay. All of my eyes got weird. This was also about the time that everyone kept commissioning me for Pokemon people. I offered it as a commission thing. This is one of our friends. This is Hudson, or Court. She actually came back to streaming recently, a couple of months ago. But she wanted herself in a ponyta. Chat, look at that light. Look at that light. It's not very Pokemon-esque, but it's like my style and Pokemon. So, then we have, her ex. I know, look at that horse. That horse is amazing. I actually really tried. We've definitely got some funky things going on, though. I think probably the back of it probably should have gone up a little bit longer, but, then we have Ganon, who wanted to be a Team Rocket member. I really liked the lighting. I really, really liked the lighting on this. I'm still not very good at buildings, as you could tell. But, I'd say I did pretty well. Then on stream, chat, we did doodles. Here's me. Chat, I would like to turn your attention to the star of this show. I would like to turn my attention here. Chat. This was a joke on the stream for the longest goddamn time. I drew this poor little Charmander, and everyone's like, yes, that Charmander looks like he's seen God. Chad, he was an emote for a while, too, until Twitch got mad at me. It was like, hey, you gotta change it. He's a character. There we go. Here's without all the background. Hi, Leon, welcome in. Oh boy, have you missed some Actually, you haven't missed anything because you got to see fucking Charmander. Listen, this poor Charmander, he did his best. Okay, he Well, I also left the kill me in here, so that's probably what was the problem. So I think if we, hold on. Hold on, can I... Oh, what? No, there's nothing wrong with this Charmander. This Charmander is a fucking treasure, chat. He's a fucking national treasure. This also would have been about the time that the Alolan, ones came out, so we were drawing a couple of those. We got a little Sandshrew, because I have a shiny one named Lucky. We were also doing a whole bunch of RPG horror about this time. So I drew, I think this is the girl from Mad Father. We got a little Vulpix. Look how cute he is. Yeah, here's me. This is what I look like, chat. Face reveal. This is me. We got a little Mimi cute. Look how cute it is. I just got really into, like, the sketchy, cartoony crayon thing. We got this fucking weird-ass little Squirtle over here. And then we got a little Eevee. But this Charmander, he's a true mood. He is a work of art. So, chat, everyone used to pay me to draw Pokemon. So there you go. And then we also have, if Breck is still here, this one I actually did for them. This is their trainer, with a Squirtle. And look, I used... Chat. The brushes are back! It's all the same leaf over and over again. The leaves are back. And now we got, water textures, chat? Oh, shit. All you gotta do is just download a whole bunch of brush packs. But I really liked the sketchy value of everything. But the problem, as you could see here, where it's kind of got the invisible thing, is... It never fully covered the entire canvas, so sometimes it didn't translate well. And it was very, very messy, but at the same time, it was, like, very much so my style, so people kind of liked it. But I didn't like it, which is fine. You know, people change and art changes and things like that. But look, we've got, like, shading and stuff, and it's all coming from the same direction, chat. It's all coming from this way. Chat, we've leveled up. We've learned how shading works. And then I didn't like this anymore, but I still like the sketchiness, and I went, you know what, let's try and go realistic. Chat, I drew Tina. chat, I was actually getting better at stuff. That's the best way to put it. We are definitely at the point where I'm, like, specifically doing people's faces and stuff like that, just as, like, a practice thing, because I wanted to do other stuff. We finally got the eyes. Those are finally now straight. They're no longer at a fucking weird-ass angle anymore. So there you go, chat. This is the slow, this very slow, process of going more towards, a realistic style. So let's close out of all of these. No, do not save that god-awful thing. Nobody wants to see the bar scene. No. Bye, Charmander. Bye, buddy. So going back, chat, that is all of 2016. Chat, the art streams continued. And Overwatch continued. And chat, at one point, I actually wanted to be a professional Overwatch streamer. That did not work. Extras, turn that off. So we drew this on stream. Now we've actually got some proper use of some of the stamping stuff in the background, though. Like, look, we've actually got some, like, proper bamboo. Chat, this actually makes sense, but you could see where I was kind of trying to go for realism, and I'm just not good at it. I'm just not, chat. That is, one of the things that I have absolutely, pointed out, is that for some reason the coloring just doesn't match up yet, considering how it turned out. It would have been fine for a couple of years. Myself and a couple of people from the gaming group, we absolutely got together with some of our modding friends, and we absolutely tried to make a professional Overwatch League team. I think we placed bronze one time, and then we gave up. I think we placed bronze once, and we gave up. So there you go. So I did this on stream, chat. I did this for quite a few hours. Because I did it kind of like as a practice to kind of see like how long it was going to take me. Because I'm very much so a proponent of when you're doing stuff like this, like commissions and stuff, is you should figure out like a general time of how long it's going to take you and charge per hour, and that's what your hourly rate should be. But the problem was I realized that I was too slow at it, so I kind of slowed down with commissions at this point. And I kind of stopped doing art. So, that's all of 2017, chat. So skipping over to 2018, this was about the time that I went, I'm not going to be able to sustain myself with art, and I went and got, like, a proper, like, you know, like, somewhat small retail job. I was still doing some streaming, and, we ended up doing a whole bunch of RPG horror stuff, which means that it was a funky, you know, like, how to put it? It's like a funky aspect ratio, so I had to have a background. So chat, we thought it would be funny that every single time I finished a JRPG horror game, that I would add them to the background. So chat, this was the background that we used to use. So we would put the game over it. We've got Mad Father. I think this is Witch's House. I think this is Lily, Ib, Yume Nikki. Is this Misao? I think that's Misao. But every time we finished one, we would just go ahead and start the next one. So imagine, like, your game is here. And then, we would just move it around and we would just put different characters on. And it was fun! People really enjoyed it. So I would just go in periodically and we would just update it. And that's what we did. This was also about when I started doing, Twitch stuff for other people. So Callie actually had me, do some artwork for her. And one of those was to draw her Ratty. And I drew Fiorello. And he's such a cutie. Firo is such a cute little guy. I'm very proud of this damn rat, chat. Look at this rat. I don't know why I didn't do any, like, texturing or anything on the tail, but look at him! Look how soft and fuzzy and cute he is! Look at him! Look at this little guy. Do you remember those wolf noses, chat? Look how far I've come. Look at that. This was about the time that my tablet stopped working. So this is one of like the final digital art things that you're gonna get. So yeah, look at it, he's so soft and fluffy. He's just cute. She used this in several of her overlays for a very, very long time. I drew a whole bunch of them. I drew Pancake, I drew Firo, I think she had 2 other ones at the time. A couple of them have since passed on, unfortunately. But yeah, I drew all of her rats. And they were super cute. We were living together at the time, so I would just go and like look at the rats and then I just drew them. So there you go, chat. So then I moved out and I went and got a different job, and this was about the time that I stopped streaming officially. And I no longer really had a tablet that I could use, so I just started going back to traditional chat. We're back to our roots. We're back to our roots. I painted a tiger. Look at this little guy. Isn't he cute? There's no shading because I didn't want to do any kind of funky shading or anything like that. I just did a little snow leopard tiger guy. I thought he was cute. I thought he was so damn cute. I know, just like Taurus tigers. It's perfect. It's so fucking cute. Look at him. I painted this, chat. I just got really into painting all of a sudden. I don't know why. I just really liked it. I was so excited for all of it. So look at this little guy. Look at him. I did a whole bunch of these. I actually did these for several of my coworkers. I asked them what their favorite animal was, and that's what I did for them for Christmas, was I made them all little tiny mini paintings. So this one is probably like 2 inches tall. 2 inches tall? I don't know what that would be in metric. But in imperial, it would be about 2 inches tall. It's very small. It's about 2 of your thumbs would probably be a good way to put it. Maybe 1 if your thumb is too big. So, yeah. Continuing on with traditional, I got really into sketching, just in my downtime, especially when I was at work. Chat, Cyril's back. Cyril came back. You remember that fucker on the bed with the purple hair? He's back and he's now more normal. So even now, like, my doodles and my sketches are starting to get a little bit more realistic. Like, we've actually got, like, a little bit more of a nose. We've actually got, like, a proper chin, chat. Chat, we have a chin. You can also see Q kind of here in the corner. That is absolutely Q. I could tell because there's, like, a little bit of a variation in the hair. That's the only reason I know. But, yeah, he came back. He is now she's boyfriend instead. It's this whole thing. But yeah, he's officially back. I really liked him as a character. I started drawing him again. I was like, okay, this might be fun. So, that's Cyril. Then we have... And we have Kuro and Aiji. So they're back as well. I started drawing them again. The comparison between the last time that I drew, even just Kuro alone, is fucking night and day. We've still definitely got some, like, anime influence, but it's definitely a little bit more realistic. Still going with that sketchy kind of look, because I really like the sketchiness. I think I'm much better at the sketch than I am, like, the full finished stuff. So, it's just kind of endearing to me, I guess. And look, now we've actually got noses. Chat, we have noses. You guys were making fun of me. But look, we have noses with shading and shit now. Isn't that fun? You can actually see where I'm actually doing, like, guidelines and stuff, and I'm not getting rid of them. One of my friends constantly does that, where she'll leave all of her guidelines and stuff, and I always like that look, so I was like, why don't I try that? So I did, chat, and I liked it. Then I started doing some fan art. This is Shoko. From Silent Voice. What would it be in Japanese? I don't remember. Something no call. But, yeah. We've actually got some like proper art. Look at this. And I was trying to do like the cool Instagram thing where I was trying to like make it look all fancy. Chat, it did not look all fancy when I uploaded it. Nobody liked it. And I was like, I'm just not gonna post any of it anymore. I was like, I'm just gonna do this for myself. So I actually do still have this sketchbook, and that's all I would do is I would take it with me. If I had nothing to do, I would just start sketching. I would just draw plants. I would draw animals. I would draw whatever the fuck I felt like. We've actually got some like shading in the eyes. The Inuyasha eyes have died now officially, chat. The Inuyasha eyes are gone. We finally have some real goddamn eyes. We actually have some real eyes and some real shading. Look at this. We've actually got shading, chat. Isn't that weird? So, welcome to 2018, chat. I was at the top of the world. I was doing really well. And, Allie messaged me and was like, hey, can you make me a screen? So I did. I made her a break screen. You could see I reused Firo over here because he's a cutie. We got Pancake. I don't remember these other ones. She'd be able to tell you. Then we got Sally over here. For some reason, Sally is the size of the rat. I'm not exactly sure why I did that, but I thought it was cute. It was just super cute. And then she would have chat here. And it was really, really great. Oh, I think it was Bach. Wait, Barnaby? That's right. There was a Barnaby, Cornelius. Barnaby, Cornelius. Yeah, here's Führer. I know, Balloon Rat. Listen, I just thought it was really, really cute. She was also doing a lot of embroidery streams, so I tried to actually make it look like muslin and everything. I was really trying, chat. I was really trying to get away from, like, the anime look. And it kind of worked, and it kind of didn't, because all the animals look like anime things. I think this one is... This one's Pancake. This one's Bach, I think? Am I right? That is Bach. Okay, so then this fat one, no, this one I think was Barnaby. Yeah, that's Barnaby. So that's Firo. And then that's Cornelius. They were all named after different plays and stuff like that. It was just like different playwrights and different characters and stuff. So if they sound familiar, that's why. So there you go, chat. So I did used to do Twitch stuff for different people. I don't anymore. I really don't. The overlays and stuff, they were fun. They were super easy, but then chat, I got really into watercolor. Can I point out that I'm really bad at watercolor? Can I point out that I'm really, really bad at watercolor? I hated this. I hated this so much, chat. I actually put it into a pile to be thrown out. And my roommate took it. And he took it to work. And it now sits on his bulletin board. And he tells all of his kids about, you know, what one person dislikes, the other person likes. And everyone's always like, oh my god, those birds are so good. And he's like, yeah, the artist hates it. So it's a good learning tool, I guess, for the kids. I don't know, just something about it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the composition. I thought the bird composition was nice. I hated the composition of the greenery and stuff. And I got really into, as you saw with like the with the little snow leopard tiger thing, of like adding black as like detail. Because I really got into the line work from like Skullgirls and stuff. I like uneven lines, which I think is why I like the sketchy stuff. Because it's not all the same uniform line. But I just didn't like the composition. I just didn't like it, chap. So I tried to throw it out. He took it. Now the kids all like it. And I just sit here like, I still hate it. I still hate it, chat. So I really wasn't doing a lot of art in 2019. Those were the only ones. I was just very sad. And I was just unhappy. And then 2020 hit, chat. And then I got even sadder. Just like everybody else. But I kind of got into more traditional stuff. We started a D&D campaign. So I drew my tiefling. This is Cerebi. She's super cute. This is actually on the back of a note card because I couldn't find any other paper. She's definitely got a big nose, but I kind of like that. I think it's kind of endearing. I wanted her to have like traditional red skin, but I wanted her blood to be kind of green. Just so it would give like some sort of a variation with like shading and stuff. So that's why you're gonna see like little parts that are like gently green. That's just because of like blush and stuff like that. And I thought it would be funny to give her deer horns. And look, chat, the scarves are back. Chat, that ninja eating a scarf, it's back. I got really into scarves. The scarves have continued. The scarves have continued. But we've actually got like some decent eyes and things like that. So there's like now little things that's like part of me where it's like you know, like the dimples at the edges of mouths. Always definitely the nostrils. I always try to have like almond eyes type of thing. So now I'm trying to get like a little bit of a style of my own, I guess. So there you go, chat. Nope, I don't want to see the calendar. And then a lot of people commissioned me for portraits. So this one I actually painted. Everyone wanted portraits of their animals. I don't know why. Apparently people just really liked it. They said I was really good at it. So I drew one of the Shih Tzus. I did a couple of doodles. I did a couple of cats. And apparently people just really like how I do the eyes. I don't know why, but just something with like the way that I paint the eyes people really like. And then I hand put in all of these little hearts because the dog was actually wearing a little heart bandana. And I was like, I think it's going to be fun because it's going to give a little bit of texture. And it did. People really liked it. I got paid like something weird for that. It's a little bit of Inuyasha. Yeah, that little bit of the eye shine that still comes out all of these years later. Thanks, Inuyasha. And then the very last time that I did digital art was in 2020. A friend of mine hit me up because he used to commission me quite a lot, and he goes, hey, I need art of my D&D character. Chat, I sat there for 3 days trying to get this fucking tablet to work. So please consider that when you look at it, so it's not going to be amazing, because this is only 3 years ago. It looks like shit because there's no pen pressure, because I cannot for the life of me get this stupid tablet to connect with the drivers to Windows 10. I do not know why. Haven't quite figured it out. So I've given up. That tablet is, for all intents and purposes, not going to work with Windows 10 anymore. So I did this all out without pen pressure. So please be kind and understand that. But he wanted his D&D character. And he wanted her to, you know, be like a water elemental kind of thing. So I thought it would be funny to have her kind of you know, like dripping and stuff like that. Just so it seems a little bit less like a slime person, but a little bit more of just like water. No, it does not look good. There's absolutely no pressure anywhere. You can actually see where I had to double over lines and things. Because it just... Look, I tried to do pressure here and it just didn't work. You can see it's all the same weight. And I was so upset, chat. Because I was like, I just want, like, the thin lines that I've been doing this whole time because I feel like it kind of gives everything, like, a different view, I guess. So, I went through, I did this, I found a whole bunch of really nice stamps. I actually, like, colored over them and stuff. It's really sweaty, I know. He gave me a whole bunch of things. I actually did, like, a proper overlay on the face piece. I just really liked it, chat. It was just a ton of fun to do, and I was like, absolutely. And I was like, listen, I don't do commissions anymore. I was like, I'm not gonna charge you for this. He's like, no, absolutely not. I said, don't give me any money. I said this was just fun just to do. But if I had the ability to, and a pen that actually worked with pressure, this definitely would not have been as thick. This wouldn't have been as thick. This wouldn't have been as awkward. This wouldn't have been as thick. You know, all kinds of stuff. But, yeah, this was my very last digital art piece ever since. Look, I even did feet, chat. I even did proper feet. We're going back to the Q is still learning feet, but is actually doing a little bit better. We've actually got now, like, a heel and stuff. We've actually got knees, chat. We've actually got some proper art. So thank you, CJ, for still believing in me that I could do art, because this was a ton of fun. So there you go. Same problem. Yeah, I know. Something about just the way that the computers have been updating recently, they just don't work. They just don't. I don't know why. They're just like, yes, you're trying to put in a driver. Congratulations, it's not going to work at all. And it'll only work in certain programs and not in other programs. And then you're going to have to redo everything. And then you're going to have to reinstall it every single time that you plug it back in. So you just have to always keep it plugged in. Oh, and then it's going to have different drivers depending on if you plug it into the back or if you plug it into the front or if you plug it into the side panel. I hate it. I hate it so much. I stopped fighting with them. I was like, I'd rather just get a modern, newer one. So the tablet is still about. That was a gift from somebody, so I don't want to like throw it out. It was from Breck. So it was very kind of them to do so because I traded them some art for it because I was like, I really need to do some of this. So they were like, yeah, let me buy it for you. So thanks, Breck. If you're still here, I appreciate it. You're the only reason I was even still doing art for quite a long time. And then chat. It's all come full circle. I haven't really done a lot of art recently. The last thing that I really drew in 2022 is me. Chat, these are the sketches that I sent to Declan to make me. It's all come full circle. There's definitely some differences. There's definitely some things that I wanted to change. There were some things that I wanted to do that Declan said wasn't going to be possible. So we did make a lot of compromises and things like that. I just thought it was really cute. So this was the initial sketch of Q. Back in what is this? 6. So what is that? June 28th of 2022. So that's when I sketched this. This is when I sent it over. So this was the original outfit. You can kind of see me as a ghost in the background. I'll show you that one in a little bit. But I wanted like we're still going back to this where we have kind of like the awkward circle hands. But at the same time, it was a sketch. I've actually gotten much better at, like, shoes and things like that. We've actually got some, like, curves and things. We've actually... Chat, we've got a waist. Chat, we have a waist going on. What? When did we get those? Isn't that astonishing? And then, this is me. So there you go. Chat, it's all come full circle. And see, like I said, I kind of got into that whole thing of, like, the edges of my lips are always going to have, like, those little dimple things. That's still been a style, even now. So there you go. So now, anything that I send for anyone to do, I'll draw a little sketch of it, because I know that it's easier to do so when you're able to be like, oh man, this is exactly what I want. That's the only thing that I use my sketching for nowadays. I don't do any art. For all intents and purposes, chat, I don't do any. So, chat, if you ever tell yourself you can't do art, keep this VOD and go all the way back to where we started in 2004, and then look at this. Or hell, even just look at CJ's. Love to see art from me. See, that's the problem. It's so difficult to get a lot of the digital stuff to work that I'm like, I'd rather just do traditional stuff. And I was for quite a while. I was painting and all kinds of stuff, but then now I'm like, well, now I have to sew, now I have to stream, now I have to do that, so art has kind of fallen to the wayside. But it's kind of like riding a bike. Like, you don't really forget it, you just have to re-practice again. So there you go, chat. Thank you guys for donating to charity. Thank you guys for the subathon stuff, because I know that this was something that people wanted during the subathon too, but we didn't really hit, so that's why I put it at such a low point for the donation goals, because I know people really wanted to make fun of me. And it's kind of fun to make fun of me and just to kind of see the progress from the past 20 years? Oh my god, chat. This is 20 years of work. And this is what we've come to as myself. Why isn't it on my throne? It is on my throne, isn't it? I thought it was. I set it on there. It might also be out of stock because sometimes it'll remove it. So, there you go, chat. It's all come full circle. This is what I spent 20 years to do, was to become a VTuber. No, we're not saying that. I did not spend 20 years to learn how to draw to become a VTuber. I had 20 years of fun drawing. And did it get fully funded? Is that what the contribution? Chat, I swear to Christ, if you guys just bought me a tablet, I'm gonna kill every one of you. No, it didn't. Wait, that's the wrong one! Chat, my hat's back. Oh no, chat! Why did you guys fund it? Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys did not have to. You absolutely did not have to. Chat, you really don't want to see more of this, trust me. Chat, trust me, you do not want to see any more of this. We get more art, oh god. Chat, you guys really don't want to. Listen, it's gonna be like, hold on, do I have any more that doesn't have like a name or something on it? I've gotta be careful. Hold on, chat. Do I have? Oh, here, we could do this. Chat, if you haven't seen, while I go looking, so we could see if there's, she's gonna point to this message again. Chat, here's me. Because I know a couple of people have been asking. I do actually have full body art. Declan did finish that. So that was finished a couple of months ago. We just need to do like a proper reference sheet, but this is me. As you could tell from the other one, it is absolutely not what we had started out with. This is what kind of got simplified into it. So maybe at some point we'll start to, you know, add some more of those details back in. No, of course, Luna, you're all good. You didn't say anything wrong or anything. Shouldn't it be longer? Jesus Christ. I know. I need to be like 3 times the size in order for it to be me. That's what I needed. And then we have talked about this too. But there is a full body as well of the frog one. Let's see if it'll pop up. Yeah, there we go. See? We got everything, chat. I just need to do a reference sheet. Which is a lot of work. Which is a lot of time. Which is, oh my god, chat. Chat. I lied. Chat. I did artwork this year. Chat, I lied. Okay, Chad, I need your masterpiece. Oh my god, I'm dying. Oh, oh my god, I'm actually crying. Chat, nobody redeemed the make me a profile picture. So if anyone that contributed towards the tablet, if they would like a crappy profile picture done in paint, please hit me up. You will get wonderful things. such as this. Such as this generator. Yeah, this is peak. This is what 20 years of art has done. This is peak optimal art, chat. I physically can't see. I'm crying too much. I can't. Oh my god, chat. Hey, remember when that generator went missing? And in the middle of me drawing this, somebody goes, "Hey, I have that generator." I remember that. And I was like, damn it, let me finish my missing poster. Can I please finish my poster? Oh my god. So there you go, chat. 2023. We've come back to this. Oh shit, that's right. I drew a vampire. Oh, here we go. Here's the true one. No, I don't think you guys want to see traditional art. Hold on. Do I have any other really good ones? Oh god. Hold on, chat. I gotta switch this for a second to make sure that I didn't put my name all over it. Hold on. Because I have something that I would like to end on. I put my name on that one. What did I not put my name on? What? Chat? Just remember that everyone has to start somewhere. Everyone has to start somewhere. Love yourself. Make shitty art. Because in 20 years, you're gonna make shit art of a generator and everyone's gonna laugh at you. And you're gonna go back and you're gonna remember, I know shit. In 2004, whenever I don't know why Sesshomaru isn't cool enough to wear a band t-shirt. Everybody else wears Sesshomaru. Why are his eyes so far apart, chat? Why are his eyes so far apart? What? Why does everyone have stick legs? Why? But that's okay, because you can draw this 20 years later. So there you go, chat. You all donated for this. Never forget your roots. Listen, I think those are the same legs. Are those the same legs? This is the same feet, chat. They're the same feet. Chat, same feet. It's the same feet. For 20 fucking years, chat. It's the same fucking feet. So there you go. You guys donated for this. I am not taking responsibility for any of this. I know that we've talked about this before, but there is actually more art that I cannot show because I either put my name all over it, or I'd have to edit it, or it's just absolutely terrible. What the hell is this one? Sorry, I'm like looking through my folder, and there's just chat in just 2004 alone. How many is this? 32. I got 32 pieces of shit in here. So make art, even though it looks like shit. You're eventually gonna come up and you're just gonna draw a fucking generator and everyone's gonna laugh at you. You're gonna be like, ha ha ha, I got to make fun of myself for a little bit. Why did I write emo shit all over this? I'm still looking. I've got really shit. Here's some bleeding wings. That's normal. Oh, here's Moroku standing in front of a tree. I think that's a tree. It's just a big giant brown blob, but I'm pretty sure it's a tree. Here's a Halloween one. Here's when I tried to write in Japanese. I don't know what that is. I think that's on paper. Oh my god, hold on. Can I view extra large icons? Oh, chat. Here, chat, now you can't see anything. Chat. Chat, I don't know if you understand just how much shit. How much terrible. How much horrible that we've got. Just make art. Just make art. Why the fuck not? Who's gonna make fun of you? Yourself. That's it. Just make shit art. It's okay. I don't know. just this fucking face up here. Just make shit art. It's okay. Just trust yourself. Trust the process. So there you go, chat. Thank you very much for donating. I'm not gonna take responsibility for any of this. Everyone that donated to charity, this is your guys' fault. It is not my fault. It's great that it was made. Listen, at the time, it was terrible that it was made. Now we can look back on it and be like, I'm so glad we did that. So chat, I'm gonna take a second real quick. I'm gonna go run to the bathroom, and then we're gonna play some Planet Zoo. Because I have to go and look at Throne, and I have to yell at a couple of people. But I will be right back, so give me, like, a minute.